Oh, howdy all, grab yourself a drink. It is time for some Path of Exile 1 discussion. Patch 3.28 is coming a while away, and today we got a little bit of information about it. This was not an official teaser from Grinding Gear Games. Instead, someone has done a little bit of sleuthing, and they've found a lore figure that there's good reason to believe is going to be coming in patch 3.28. And also, we found a little bit of history on this lore figure and their past in Path of Exile 1. Now, you might term this a leak. I personally don't consider this a leak, but some people consider it a leak, so it's up to you whether you want to be exposed to leaks or not. If you don't, feel free to just jump off this video. But the leak in question was a job posting Grinding Gear Games had put up, and this was for a voice actor, professional voice actor for a small role playing the role of Sarish the Weeping Black. There's information that's been posted about this. Someone took a screenshot of the ad, and it then got posted to the Path of Exile 1 Reddit. They're looking for a pro voice actor that can play a male, older character with a slight Arabic touch because they're going to be from the Faradun, and they also need to have a sort of necromancer-ish feel to the way that the character is set up. This Sarish was an outcast even among outcasts. He was fascinated by the body, living and dead, undertook gruesome experiments, eventually becoming a necromancer. The reason we know this is Path of Exile 1 and not Path of Exile 2 is that in the About This Project section, which is not captured on this particular screen grab, there's a clarification that this is from a game that's been out since 2013, which means that it's for Path of Exile 1 and not Path of Exile 2. Also, the timeline works for 3.28. It doesn't really work for 0.50, which really the earliest it could plausibly come out is Friday the 17th of April in my mind. I don't think Grinding Gear Games are trying to hit that date, but that's the earliest date that I could potentially see a pathway for them to hit, and that would be something they'd probably do the voiceover acting for later. So what do we know about this character Sarish? Well, not much in Path of Exile 1's current lore. However, there is some historical lore that has largely been forgotten by the player base. Remember in patch 3.24 they did a major overhaul of scarabs. When this major scarab overhaul took place, all of the old scarabs ended up getting deprecated. Those scarabs, however, the text that's on them has been preserved. And I'll put a link down in the description below to the appropriate page on the Path of Exile 1 wiki. Now, the character Sarish comes up with respect to metamorph scarabs. Metamorph as a mechanic has been removed from the game as well, and it's largely been replaced by ultimatum in a number of ways. But Sarish was the historical lore figure that was most associated with metamorph, whereas Tane was the NPC we actually dealt with. So the rusted metamorph scarab, again talking about historic metamorph scarabs here, said, rejected by even the Faradun outcasts, young Sarish, you were cursed to walk the white sands until we found you. The Order shall command your penance now. This is the Order of the Jinn. This is the organization that's dedicated to keeping Kulamak imprisoned and that Jun is also a member of. So Jun is the last surviving member after the rest of the Order gets betrayed at one point, and that's the plotline of the Betrayal League. But Sarish was one of the members of it until he kind of freaked the rest of them out. And you'll see this here. The polished version of the Metamorph Scarab used to say, as you explore the vast well of human darkness, Sarish, our surgeon of the dead, remember that the price can sometimes exceed the value of knowledge. So here you see someone giving a little bit of caution to this character from lore. Then, on the Gilded Scarab, there was the man of bone, rotting flesh, and weeping black, but his name, his ill-gotten knowledge, and his role in the Order shall be stricken from memory. So at some point, Sarish has gone so far that the Order want nothing to do with him, and then the Winged Scarab, which would come a bit later. Though the Necromancer of Weeping Black fell in the desert by the hand of Garakan, his mindless legions remain scattered throughout Rayclast, with no master to curb their hunger. So all of the lore here is pointing a picture that this is a character that the world presumes dead, but being a Necromancer, and of course being Rayclast, nothing really stays dead forever. Anyways, that's the information that we got today. Presumably Sarish is going to be a major antagonist in 3.28, although who knows, sometimes Grinding Gear Games decide to throw a curveball. Maybe we'll be working with the guy, as he claims to seek redemption, and then ends up continuing his necromantic ways, and we end up unleashing a new horror onto the world. That certainly wouldn't surprise me either. That's what we've got for today. May your Varlorbs have interesting results.